from Christy Martell, which is going to be outstanding. But first, this is one of these moments and shows where you know a guest is coming on, you got the goosebumps and the butterflies in the stomach because you've admired their music for so long, and long overdue to have this gentleman on the show. It's a real honor for me. He's got a brand new double CD album, Verbal Penetration, which is available at jessejohnson.com. And without further delay, we welcome to the Upper Room with Joe Kelley and WVOF, Mr. Jesse Johnson. How you doing, Jesse?
Hey, Joe, I'm good. Thank you, man.
All right. Hey, cool. You're just jamming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of...
I know you heard that one, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, if I can remember it.
Oh, that's outstanding. Hey, let's just have a pre-tour rehearsal right there. The verbal penetration tour, man.
I'm actually so looking forward to that. It's going to be so much fun. I start February, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, you work in a band. Have you chosen your band members yet?
Some, but it's going to be pretty simple. I mean, I have a long list of this, a long list of these, many bass players, drummers, and so forth and so on, keyboard players. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's just, me, I'm just really, how can you put it? Just don't really deal with a lot of people most of the time in my life. So when I got to build up to that part of it, so it's all going to be fun, though.
So it's going to be one of those tours where you got the minivan and the gear in the back, kind of old school style, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not getting in a minivan.
Right. Or
if I can help it. Oh no.
Yeah, right. Kind of like the old days, yeah.
No, we're probably, more than likely, because my thing's a little bit specialized when it comes to guitar and so forth and so on. So I'll have to. There's certain pieces I can't do a show without, so I'll have to make sure, custom pedal boards, the guitars, and blah, blah, blah there. Maybe even my amplifier heads, but I'll backline probably speaker cabs and things like that I don't want to ship around because I don't know how spread out the shows will be, because we're going to be touring we're going to be a, domestic and foreign, so we're going to be here and abroad, and so I don't know how it's going to be spread out, and we're going to be jumping back and across the water as throughout. And I think it goes from starting February into 2/11. So we're going to be doing the thing. And then there's two other projects. There's a new thing that will come out June 1st, my birthday. Also, that's a little bit heavier with some new things on it as well. Then it'll be something that come out December 1st of 2/11 as well. So it's a pretty laid out year. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just trying to. I've been in the studio for so many years working with so many different artists, and we're so fed up with that and so sick of that now that I have to actually go play for long enough to be sick of that for a while, but I'm looking forward to it so much. And I could have been out touring and all that for years, but just not into that going and playing songs that I did like 1,000 years ago. I gotta be doing something new, something fresh, have something new to tell, a new story, something to talk about, and not just something I've done before. So
right. So Verbal Penetration's the new double CD, and we're flashing up to our TV camera here. People in this area can see it right there.
Cool.
Great. And hey, if you're coming eastward, man, we'd love to have you come jam in the studio.
We're gonna definitely be there. I can guarantee that, hands down. We're gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
There's people. We'll be there.
Yeah.
What I want to do out the box is try to. I really want to I so miss it, but I don't miss, I guess I'll build up to some of the bigger things to come, but I really miss, it's a whole different, it's weird, it's like it's easier to play for 40,000 people and much harder to play for 100, because 100 people you can see their faces and you're right there, and it's like, they can see your eyelash. So it's just more of an intimidating situation. But that's what I want to do more than anything. So that's why I'm actually working really tough with promoters to say, come on, I mean, I know you want to do this and that and bigger things in the festivals, but I'm like, man, please get me in some 100 to 300 seaters. I want to be that close to people. I want this show. I'm not trying to go out and make the album. You know, like when Hendrix would tour, for instance, and there's Purple Haze or Foxy Lady or any of that, but you know, on the record there's 3 or 4 guitar tracks, but live there would just be this one guitar track. You get to pick which one he was going to play. So I always enjoyed that stripped down sound, whether it be a funkadelic, like the early funkadelic when Eddie Hazel was there, and it was just that one guitar player, and it was just like, you know, it was just, to me, just breathtaking. It was just like so powerful, that stripped down element where people had to actually really be playing their axes and bringing the truth to you. So that's kind of what I really want to do. I'm not trying to, you know, you can go out and really make what you're doing sound exactly like the album, but to me, I think that's what people have been fed so much, been hand-fed for so many years, and this pasteurized, homogenized form of music that once you hear the record, you see it live, it's like a giant video or something.
Right.
I'm really doing everything possible to never, ever fall into that, and that's why the album does have a more, you know, the album, for instance, like everything's mic'd, you know, everything's played, there's no samples, there's no loops, you have to play it.
Those guitar solos are going to sound different every night, right?
No, it's something special about if people hear you play something and it's something they happen to love, you know. If it's something that they really admire and something that they're feeling, then you kind of like have to be somewhat respectful of that. So I might bring, the solo might be exactly like it is. I might play it exactly like that so that you feel that what's special about it. Because, you know, that's how I was as a kid. It's like you look at an album cover and you listen to an album, and then we would say, man, this is so hot, I can't wait to see them live, this is going to be so bad, and all that type of thing. Well, I don't think there's that kind of vibe like that. There's not a lot of bands per se. There's not even, to me, a lot of musicians, you know, step out musicians like it used to be. So when you heard a record like Standing on the Verge or Rick James even, you know, you knew that it was gonna be brought to you like that, but with the live energy, you know, because everybody was actually playing all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we got to get into some of the music from, we're really enjoying our talk with Jesse Johnson. He is our special guest, and the double CD available, jessejohnson.com, itunes.com, cdbaby.com, and it's really cool. Go to his website, jessejohnson.com, and you can find out all about Jesse. I'm sure our audience, we already know, but for those fans just discovering Jesse, it's a great new record, Verbal Penetration, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So let's get into some more music right now. This is the title track from Jesse Johnson, Verbal Penetration, and I know the sequencing of the song's definitely important to you. How about choosing this one to lead off the record?
Well, you know, I was... I wanted to, of course, have a vehicle that was uplifting and positive and had nothing to do with any kind of exclusionary tactics or conversation. I just wanted to be an uplifting, feel-good record, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to appeal to 16. I wasn't trying to be 16 or 19. So I wanted to make a record that was really grown folks music. So I wanted to make something that appealed to you, and that we would have something to go. Because, you know, a lot of times we go to buy music nowadays, and we're buying old records. We might even be buying records that we already own. We just like so bored and so stomped right now that I really wanted to make sure I did. This record falls under the category of grown folks music, and that's what I wanted to. That's what I set out to make, and I never wavered from that, because I think every age group, they've got they don't need me, they already have their music, you know, they got the kids have their music, and it's like a lot of times I think the adults, we don't have, other than it has to be, people don't realize that if you are 30 and up, they act like you don't want to hear anything, you know, danceable or funky, they act like it just needs to be a mid-tempo, you know.
Yeah, right.
It's like, no, everybody's still got life, and everybody's still very much alive, and we want to hear something that we can feel as well. And doesn't have to be a mid-tempo ballad and singing about, baby, I love you and all that. You know, it's just want to get down, you know.
Still like to funk it up. So we'll listen to this right now. Verbal Penetration from Jesse Johnson. Jesse is with us. We're real happy. This is WVOF 88.5 FM, Joe Kelley, and The Upper Room. Yeah, another great one from my special guest, Mr. Jesse Johnson. And that is the title track to Verbal Penetration. He kind of entertained me with playing some raw guitar from Verbal Penetration. That was cool.
Hey, got to practice.
Yeah. What do you got playing right now? What kind of guitar?
This is it's a Gibson Flying V, actually.
Oh, okay.
Played it out once.
Yeah, that's Jesse Johnson. You know him from the Minneapolis Sound and, of course, his own solo projects and Bare My Naked Soul and now Verbal Penetration, and grew up in the Midwest. Tell us about that first experience saying, I want to play that guitar. How young were you when you first put your hands on a guitar?
I must have been maybe 15, because I started off as a drummer and then as a bass player in bands. And I think the last instrument I learned, I didn't really mess with keyboards until I came to Minneapolis. But when I always remember the guitar, getting bit by the guitar bug. I'll remember the exact day. I was like in a car with my foster father that raised me, Jim Alvarez, and I was in East St. Louis, and I don't know if I was a young kid, and I just remember the 70s cars were so huge because we had this stereophonic system in the car, and one speaker was way on that side and that door and the other speaker. But I was in the car with him one day, and I don't even remember but I remember the dash. To this day, it's so vivid. I remember the dash being red and the interior was red, and I was messing with the radio, and then out of nowhere, I hear the thing that actually changed my life. And at that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And I was in the car, and it said, I heard this. And I heard that, and I heard that delay. It was all.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just so incredibly powerful and intoxicating. So at that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew, and that was the day that I was like, please, can I get a guitar? And my father was like, well, you earn the money to get a guitar, then we'll get you your mother, and I'll get you an amp. So I think there was a store in East St. Louis called Grandpa's, and it was these really inexpensive guitars that were like $29 or $39. They were called Tyscos or Normas or something. It was just really a real. I mean, like basically a plank with some strings and a pickup on it. But I remember mowing like every lawn in the 20 block area to raise that $29. I remember having a stack of ones, and when you're a little kid, that's like, if I get so rich, I would look in the drawers, and finally I got to the money, and I bought that guitar, and that was it.
You were sold. Did you buy a lot of records as a teenager?
Oh my God! The first record, I was just telling a girlfriend this the other day. The first record I bought was Mountain. Mississippi Queen was the first record, the first 45, and to this day I actually have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what brought you exactly to Minneapolis and where the mainstream music came to?
Well, the town that I was I didn't grow up in Rock Island, Illinois. I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois. So a lot of people go, "Oh, I'm Rock Island hometown," and I'm like, "Great, good for you." I'm not that. I don't really even consider that a hometown because I didn't grow up there. I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois, and grew up the rest of the way in Minneapolis. But the bar that I played at was a biker bar. It's called the Yankee Clipper, and so right across there's a bridge in Rock Island that drives across. You go across the bridge and you're in Davenport, Iowa. At the foot of the bridge sat this biker bar. It's called the Yankee Clipper. and I would be in Iowa across the other side of the bridge, which is considered the rock and roll belt in the U.S. You know, so you have the Iowa jams, and so everybody that was big, UFO, Rush, it was just Molly Hatchet. I met every rock band because they would stay at this. I played at this bar at the foot of the bridge. Down the street was the only hotel in town, the Sheraton, and so everybody would stay there. AC/DC did whenever they were in town, and then Rush would come there and like be there for like 3 weeks. They would rehearse there at the RKO Orpheum in Davenport at the other end of the Iowa side of the bridge. But they'd stay at the hotel in Rock Island. So different people walk in the bar and go, man, and they jam with me, and they go, oh man, you're here in this town, and you can't believe it. You need to get out of here. You're really good, and blah blah blah. Tell me that all the time. So I didn't have enough money to get bus fare to Los Angeles, so I met some people that say, man, you should really go to Minneapolis. And I'm like, where? Who? What? So I go to Minneapolis in early '81, April. And I didn't know anybody, so I was at the YMCA. I was staying at the YMCA downtown, and I go walking around, venturing out, and the day, and people go, hey, are you famous? And I'm like, no, so I don't know where that was coming from, but I wasn't. And believe it or not, it happened pretty fast. I was there April of '81, and I think about a week, not even a week in town, I met Morris. And less than a week, in a week's time, I met Prince. Morris introduced me to Prince. So by June, April, so it was, I got there in April of '81. By June '81, I was in the stores on that first album cover.
Wow. And that's go ahead.
It was just kind of pretty fairy tale, but that's truly how it happened.
And we got to hold up the current CD, Verbal Penetration, from our guest right now, Jesse Johnson, who is with us. And, you know, I got to tell you this. The first time I ever saw you perform live, I don't think I've ever told this on the air. I'll make it a quick story, but it was the Triple Threat Tour of NE6, The Time, and Prince. And you guys played the Hartford Civic Center here in Connecticut. Huge snowstorm that night.
Oh, yeah, we were snowed in there for a good while.
Yeah, so I go to pick up my girlfriend at the time here, and I go to pick her up at her house. I'm like 18 or 19, and I show up on the door. Man, I'm looking for her. I love you guys and want to see you guys show. And her mom was like, you guys ain't driving. And she looked at me, and I said, all right, and we left. And I said, I know I'm in big trouble, but we're going to the show. So we're driving up there, and my girlfriend's getting nervous. So much snow, crying, and it's kind of like I'm driving no matter what. So we get there. She's pissed at me. But when you guys came on stage, and I got to thank you for this, because you helped me out for a little, she had her eyes on you because she thought you were cute. So I was able to enjoy the show that night.
Cool.
and she dug you, so... But yeah, that was a great show, and always you guys put on the showmanship, and to this day, I know the Vegas shows you guys did out there. What was it like getting back together with the fellas and jamming for those? I guess you were out there 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, we did 15 shows. We did 2 weeks on and then a week off. You know, I mean, we did 2 weeks on and then we took a break and then we finished. We did the third week. It was cool. You know, it was actually it was cool because we had got past that hump on there earlier at the Grammys earlier that year. Mm-hmm. So leading up to the Grammys, we rehearsed for the Grammys. So I knew that everything was somewhat pretty kosher, and so the Vegas thing was actually pretty fun, and it was pretty fun for me because it wasn't my show. It was the time. It was more. The time is more. So it was more to show. He had to worry about remembering words and being on every night. I just got to be a guitar player and got to be around him. And Morris and Prince and I were always, we've always been like really, really, really super close. So I hadn't seen Morris or talk with him and Prince as well in a lot of years. So just seeing Morris, I just love him. I just adore him so much. I adore Prince as well. We're like always so close, and I always think about when we were all poor and coming up together, just how it was just like, so that love and respect that still exists between these three people. It's for real and really real. And then Terry Lewis, I had work with Terry, I think in late '07 for the Shaka Khan record. I did a Castle Made a Stand remake. I did that. I recorded that whole thing here at my spot, and then Terry did the vocals for it. So it was good to see. I had worked with Terry on that, so we kind of had got into, been around each other again, got in touch, rekindled that relationship as well. So, and Terry's just somebody that I've known. When I first came to Minneapolis, believe it or not, I met Terry before. I knew Terry before I knew Prince, but I knew Morse before Terry, but shortly. And so it's just like, it was just really cool to be around people that you really have a love for, because you lose touch with people and people think it's like some kind of beef. No, it's just life kind of sometimes gets in the way of other things. But it was just really nice it was nice for, number one, that reason. It was nice just to be around a group of people that you started with in the game with. And second, I would have to say the close second was, it was just nice to be out of the studio making records and all that crap and just actually be on stage and have to worry about, what chord comes next and that kind of thing.
Yeah, everybody seemed to be happy, especially with the segment that you got to do your own stuff, and people really enjoying that. So I got to say, what's up to my buddy J.D. Silva, the Electric Man. And
he wrote some nice words about me.
Yeah, so he's out there, I'm sure, listening, and we all dig Jesse Johnson, who's with us right here at WVOF. We got to get into more of the record, Verbal Penetration. This is from Volume 2. Really showcases your great guitar work on here, the reprise to Letters from a Soldier. Tell us about working in the studio on this particular cut.
Oh, it's funny, because that if you notice that's why it's reprise, because if you hear Love Letters, it's the same lyrics. But I have three versions of that song. It's the latest version of that song is actually Love Letters, and then the version that you're listening to now is the second. And then there's one that has full band, drums, horns, everything on it. And I'll probably release that for the heck of it as a free giveaway thing at some point. But it just kind of, people think it has something to do with the war, but it's not. It's just like when you leave your home. When you leave to go do what you do and what you love to do, it's like you're going out to sin. You're going out to fight. You're going out to survive. You're going out to do what you can to take care of your family and make it back home safely. So it's like people don't understand life itself sometimes can be a war. When you love someone, what comes through the door with that is also, no one tells you that to be in love. Also, when you open that door to let love in, what comes through that door is worry, concern, a bunch of other feelings come to that door, insecurities, just all kinds of stuff comes through that door. So just to wake up every morning and be a decent human being, it's a fight, it's a war. The truck driver driving the goods across America is a warrior to me. I mean, a truck driver has to leave his family, go make a living, and the same thing with a police officer or fireman, have to go risk their life to save others, and it's all soldier. It's all, it's all part of the nature of struggle. Shoot, a mailman, like, so it's that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about a soldier. I'm not talking about wars or I'm just talking about the everyday, just a normal everyday struggle. And sometimes it can be worse depending on the tan, depending on the economics of that person. That's what I'm actually talking about. And then and just going back, looking at it from a basic logistical point of view and just saying to yourself, wow, no matter what the struggle is in life, sometimes it's actually having true love and real love and just having one person that love you. They have so much love for you, and they've got your back so tight. Nothing compares to that. I mean, that's one of the joys and gifts that children might bring to one's life without them even expecting and knowing anything about it. But with a child, a lot of times you get to experience this thing that you only hear about in movies and books, and it's called unconditional love. But that's what that song is about.
All right, so well said from Jesse Johnson. We're going to listen to it right now. Volume 2, Verbal Penetration. It's a really extensive double CD release, and he's got more in the bank going to be released. We'll talk more about it. And this is from my special guest right now, Jesse Johnson, right here on WVOF. Beautiful song from Verbal Penetration, Volume 2. That is Letters from a Soldier. We're really enjoying talking off air with Jesse Johnson and having Jesse on the show. Great to have you finally on, and we love your music all these years. So you're coming real strong with Verbal Penetration, and you're excited about this upcoming tour. And you've been we know you've been working real hard. So, what's it going to be like going out on this tour as compared to some of the other gigs and stuff you've been doing from years past?
Well, this one will be a lot. This one will be a whole new, different take. It'll be the first tour that doesn't have that corporate thumb involved. And it's been pretty. It's been an uphill battle both ways, because when you have a product that I guess you would say in a business world is considered viable, it makes it desired for other companies to come in and offer you certain things and try to take it. And I'm like adamant about the fact that no, I need to own this and keep it, to me. And I want this tour. My goal with this tour is to be the first one that I've actually had fun on, because I've done many a tour, played many, just thousands of shows, and been fortunate enough to play all over the world. But this will be the first time that it'll just be, I don't have to come off and go, so what are my ads this week? What are my Billboard numbers? How many did I ship? How many did I ship? And how, it'll be really nice to not have, it's been nice now, so it's kind of almost like I throw up the finger cross thing when people go, what is the single going to be? And I'm like, what year do you It's like, no, we're not. It's anti all of that, and just really trying to be about the music and people come and see you play. And for the first time, I just want it to be fun for me. And I'm not want it to be. I'm 99.5% sure it will be, because it won't have that, somebody telling you. I mean, you'd be surprised the corporate, when it's under that machine, it affects everything you're doing, and people tend to try to be involved with everything you're doing. So this will be the first one where it'll be without that, and I'm looking forward to it. I just really am looking forward to playing and just kind of really doing what I want to do on stage, as opposed to driving some machine and going, again, let's play the single. We got to play the, that kind of thing.
I think I remember when I saw you at the Ritz in New York City, and at the time, I love that song, Short Berry Straw Cake.
Uh-huh.
Did you co-write that song?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember I was pretty close to the stage and shouting it up to you. I think you smiled or something. I don't think it was in your set list, but
yeah, it wasn't gonna be. I think that was a Sheila E. song.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I might have told you wrong show.
Yeah, I think I thought maybe you throw it into the mix, but I remember that show. Lisa from Cult Jam was in the crowd, and
yes, she was.
Yeah, but
good memory, dude.
Yeah,
good memory.
Yeah,
good memory. But I think I come off at times on stage aloof. But what it is, it's like no, I'm not. I'm not under any kind of influence, and I'm just really, to be honest with you, I'm just when stage. It's just frightening to me. It's just I still have major stage fright. I really do. That's why I'm saying this, to go play for 100 people, it's actually more frightening than play for 40,000, 50,000 people, because those people are so far away, and the spotlight is on you, you can't see anything but just white.
Right.
You're in those small places, you can actually see people's faces, and that just freaks me out so bad. But I'm going to go deal with it, because I want to have fun. I really want to have fun. And maybe, one time, I think the first time I did, I was at a place in Arizona called what was the name? It was there's one in Anaheim, and the stage goes around. I can't remember the name. It's like a theater in the round, but the stage slowly evolves. And I was like, dude, you can't have me on that stage going in a circle. He's like, well, then we only have to sell half the hall. You got to do 2 shows. I said, I'll do 8 shows, but I'm not going to be on the stage going. The celebrity theater is called.
Oh, okay, right.
Celebrity theater, and I just remember the first time I played there. I'd been playing really giant shows and way up in the air in Madison Square Garden, and I played the celebrity, and the people were so close that I actually started laughing. I couldn't stop. I had to stop the show, because I was just totally. I was laughing. I was like, girls were that close, and they were smiling at you, and I just started cracking up, and I could not. I don't know if you ever had an attack like that, and you just.
Yeah, you don't know why you're laughing.
Yeah, and then the more you try to stop it, the more you keep going. But no, this one, I'm so looking forward to the coming year. I really am.
We're going to drop another song on our listeners right now. Coming up in a little while, we'll be having an in-studio performance from Christy Martell, and we're hoping Jesse Johnson towards the East Coast to have him. We're only an hour north of New York City, so love to have you come in here and tear it up here in the studio.
Dude, we will be partying. We're going to have, because I'm going to have these things where we got great foundations connected to this, and we're going to be doing food drives for all the local banks, and connected to every show, having people bring down whatever iPod they're not using. We're going to be doing music through healing. Are you kidding me? We're going to be at that show. You're going to be at that show with me, Joe, and you're going to have on pajamas right with the rest of us. We're going to it's going to be it's going to be a year-long party.
Hey, we're with you, you know. So we got another one. This is called 100 Watts of Funky, and a lot of people digging this one from Jesse Johnson. His blazing guitar and great vocals. You know, your vocal style all over the record is really diverse. With, you know, we're seeing a lot of range all over the place from you. So it's outstanding.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my Curtis May, so I love him.
All right, can't forget the great Curtis Mayfield, and this is Jesse Johnson. JesseJohnson.com. Go there now. New website, great pictures, great music. And if you bought the record, downloaded the tracks, or plan on doing it, all the credits and really nicely done up there. So check it out, JesseJohnson.com.
100 voltios.
100.
All right, that is the music of Jesse Johnson. 100 watts of funky, ultra funky man, and great rock guitarist as well. Play some great jazz on the record. It's a really deep record, verbal penetration, 2 CDs. He's got a lot more in the bank, as he mentioned before. You're in demand, going to be on the road through 2011 and going to be releasing other records as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So with the Minneapolis Sound, you know, we've had so many of the P-Funk cats on the show and in the studio. You talk about a Motown sound and the Minneapolis Sound when you were one of the key architects of that. How about through these years, you know, when you guys get a moment to reflect together? I know not as much as before, but you guys ever talk about or realize together how much of an impact you made on the history? And well, when we're long gone, people are going to be reading about it.
Well, I really don't think unless you're just some egotistical, you know, some kind of egomaniac, you really don't think about it like that. I mean, I don't, because at the time, I always think about when we had our records out and we were playing. I mean, it's kind of like history. You don't really think about it here or realize it's history if you're making it. Mm-hmm. So you tend to just really kind of like, even today, I don't really, I mean, I've always been the guy that I walk through the airport and people go, oh my God, can I have your autograph? And I look at them and I look around and I go, who do you think I am? I mean, I did that then. Of course, I still do that now, and I'm always shocked if somebody knows who I am. In other words, I've never quite got that part of my success, if you will. But the Minneapolis Sound thing, I guess that when I hear people say that, it's funny to me. But I'm sure we did have that, and I know we did. But I just thought I've always just been fortunate enough, and when I met Prince, he was on the Prince, so meaning he was known and, you know, around the globe. So the fact that he allowed me to bring a song. I mean, I used to take a lot of songs to Prince, and he used to laugh. He used to laugh hard, and he'd go, Morris, listen to this, and they'd be crying. I mean, Morris, whenever he started laughing, tears started coming. So they would laugh at me so hard. But luckily, I look back at it now and go, dude, just imagine if he was one of those people that were just recently up Earth, and it was the 8-track. I found my 8-track version of Jungle, which is exactly like the record, except for Prince wrote the lyrics on it. And the same thing with Ice Cream Castle and The Bird and If the Kid. You know, I brought those songs to him, and he was like, this is what I'm talking about. And he would say, you have a natural ear for producing and so forth. And so I really learned how to make records, for making records right next to him. Because a lot of times in the studio it was the three of us. It was Prince, Morris, and myself. But a lot of times toward the end it was Prince and myself in the studio recording thing. So, you know, the Minneapolis Sound still quite the understanding of the profound effect of it is still quite. It's something that still quite eludes me. I guess being a part of it, I almost feel embarrassed when people say it to me as opposed to honored. I feel.
Hey, so that'll be the last time I mention it to you.
No,
I'm just kidding with you.
It's just on a level of humility,
Right.
So like it's like when people say you're a great guitarist, I don't go, oh, great, thank you. It feels embarrassing. I don't know what it is, but that's just a different time and upbringing, from some church folks that you're raised never to brag. And if my mom used to say, if you're that good, people will tell you. You never have to tell people. So I never mention any of that kind of thing.
So at this point in your careers, Prince and yourself, you guys ever talk about laying down some tracks and working on some music together?
I think we're, I think, everybody is in different places in their life. And I know for me, I haven't talked about that because, the whole thing about doing your own record is flexing. It's a flexing of your own ego. And so at some point when you've worked on a bunch of the records and played the Bird in Vegas and got that out of the way, because by that third week I was like, oh God, I don't want to play the Bird ever again, even though I wrote those songs and so forth and so on. But it's not even about anybody else. At this point in time, you're doing your own music because it's healthy to be able to flex your own ego and have that moment in time be purely and solely about yourself, so that you can spread your wings and fly and soar for a while, but just like I said, some of the other records I'm working on, because the weird thing about being a producer with other people, you have to walk into the room and there's only room in that space at that moment in time for really whoever the artists are. It doesn't matter who you are and what compliments you have behind you. It's really about the artist. So you have to kind of like take your ego hanging on a hanger and kind of let that, whoever that person is, whether they're unknown or known, doesn't matter. But that's how an unknown person finds out who they are, but there's not room in it for your ego. So when doing your own record, are you kidding me? Then having a personality like a Prince or Flight Time or any other artist, there's no room for that. So that's why I have to do everything myself on this one, and it'd be about me. And I think it's healthy for every and anybody to just kind of be self-centered for a moment and be selfish and be about you, because I think it's healthy, and it's actually a bit more unhealthy to be hanging part of yourself in the closet, just a necessity of being a producer. But there's a huge difference between a producer and an artist. So right now I'm an artist, so it's about me.
And he's got a great record, double CD, Verbal Penetration, and it's really, I tell you, it's really a deep record as far as songs. No, Jesse Johnson has not cheated us. It's a really in-depth record. Lots of great guitar.
Thank you.
Great funky tracks, great rock tracks, some great jazz. I mean, it's just music, just great music. And I know it's been out there for just a little while, and a big push coming up at the beginning of the year, and of course the tour. But the advance words, people are blown away from it already. So yeah, let's hear some of that.
Just me trying to be Wes Montgomery, which I'm so far not. So far not. Oh my God, the people I got to stop listening to these records. They're scared of the life out of me. But that's how you stay on top of your game. When you think you're so good and you think you're so bad, it's like, okay, put on the Sly record, and you go, oh, okay.
Right.
You put on Eddie Hazel or Jimi Hendrix or B.B. King or Albert King, and you go, oh, okay. And I think that's like a good place to keep yourself sort of grounded, Keep yourself grounded in reality and go, dude, you're good, but Lord have mercy, these cats are no joke. So you still, I think it's kind of like the Big Mama thing, You got to have somebody in your life that you look up to, that their word. And so for me, it's like the forefathers. I would talk to D'Angelo about that all the time. I said, D'Angelo, we can never be kings. And he said, why? I said, because the kings are still around. You can't be a king if Sly is a king. The king, Prince can never come up and be a king until the king isn't around. I said, so we're just kind of like, we're all, you know, we're a prince, you're a prince, I'm a prince, but we can never be kings because our kings are, you know, a lot of the kings, George Clinton, are you kidding me? Maurice White, they're still, the kings are here. So it's like, keep that humility and recognize and respect the people that came before us because they made it possible for us to do our thing. And they're just phenomenons within their own right, so.
Yeah, outstanding words, and from a humble musician, but you got to pick up his record. We hold it once again up to our cameras here, and we'll be re-airing this interview with additional music from Verbal Penetration at upperroomwithjoekelley.com in the next coming weeks. Sign up for our mailing list to find out when, and we also, if you want to tell briefly about the upcoming tour, people can go to your website, right, jessejohnson.com, and
yeah, the dates will be added, and they'll probably start to be added by the top of January. But I know that we will be doing dates. I think it starts here in Los Angeles, and I know there's going to be like 4 nights, and then it will keep expanding on. And I know we're going to be doing a lot of hit it and quit it, where it'll be posted, and it might only be posted a day or two before it even happens, because I plan on doing it. I mean, you know, it's just like having a song list. Ever since I left the Time, I don't have song lists anymore, because everything is always so regimented that I try to do everything now where I'm not in this box and confined by these concrete guidelines now, that I just kind of like to be free form about as much as I possibly can in life now.
So I could go to the concert and shout out Shortberry Strawcake. You may play the riff?
No.
Okay, I'll keep trying, but I don't think you're ever going to do it.
No.
Yeah, but
Sheila might do that, though. I'm sure Sheila would have no problem doing that, but
right.
I'm not planning the Sheila E. song. I never have, so.
Right.
No need to start new traditions. I'm starting new ones with Verbal Penetration.
Yeah.
But I wanted to tell you, Joe, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it, and I wanted to tell the admirers and friends of what I'm doing and the amount of love that I'm always being showed on a daily basis. I'm just honored, and I feel so fortunate to be able to make music that people can feel and that they're still feeling, and it's just it's humbling to me, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother, and hopefully one of many times. You know, always wanted to have you over the years on the show, and we got mutual friends, and you know, we'd love to have you come in the studio. So you just call us, and we'll turn on the mics and let you tear it up in the studio.
Cool, we'll do that. I'd be too scared to do that, but we'll do that.
That's all right. We'll turn the lights down.
You got it, Joe. Thanks.
Yeah. So you know, we're gonna play something once again from Verbal Penetration, Ali versus Frazier, and then for some of the old school fans out there, get into "I Want to Be Your Man" from Jesse Johnson. And all right, tell us, growing up, were you a fan of which one, Ali or Frazier?
Both. You can't have. They both brought out the best that each one had to offer, and I've always been a little bit bothered that when people, it's just like when people talk about Coltrane, he was amazing. Mm-hmm. But you can't talk about Coltrane without talking about Charlie Parker. So it's kind of like that with me and Ali. It's like that with me with Ali Frazier. It's like they brought out the best that each one had to offer to bring to the table. So Ali always brought out the best in Frazier, and Frazier always brought out the best in Ali. So it's just it kind of hurts my feelings sometimes, and I feel bad for Joe Frazier when people talk about Ali and they don't mention Joe Frazier. Because Joe Frazier was, to me, was just such a cool cat, cool dude, a true warrior, and I just don't ever. He's an underdog in a sense, but I just really don't feel that he's ever got his true due.
See, I grew up. Joe Frazier was my guy, but in later years I started to appreciate Ali more. So I was kind of the other way around.
I've always loved them both. I just thought they were both two great champions, and both proved to be just that, champions.
Yeah, my dad went to the first battle they had at Madison Square Garden. So yeah, he was telling me about that. So. Hey, brother, thanks so much, man, for all the great music, and you got the passion going strong. So we're going to see some outstanding things from you, I'm sure.
Oh, I hope so. We will.
All right. I forgot. I got the top of my head right here. Do you remember the interview that you said this? All right. I'm going to give you something, I believe, maybe not word for word, but kind of paraphrasing it. the pop top and the black bottom.
Pop top. Oh yeah, the music.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I think it was New York City Hot Tracks.
Yeah, that's what Slide did with like Hot Fun in the summertime when they go dun 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 dun. It could be easily be a Burt Bacharach, but when they came into that, that was just so you can't. I mean, it was so genius how Slide he composed. It was just hands down. So and then somebody that got to stand in a room and do it. I was like asking him. I was like, did you? I was like, why, when you did that song, and, everybody's a star, and those chords are so on. And he's like, are you talking about, and his voice is really deep. He goes, you're talking about this baby boy, and he goes, everybody is this. And I was like, oh, I was dying. He's just such a bad cat, man.
Yeah.
Such a bad cat.
All these years, that stuck in my mind, what you said during that interview. So, man, thanks so much, Jesse. JesseJohnson.com. And we'll be re-airing it, so go to upperroomwithjoekelley.com. This is Ali versus Frazier, going to seg right into I Want to Be Your Man. So thanks, Jesse.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care, babe.
Alice was Frazier.